Hey,
Cello,
everybody. Oh,
Daisy. Oh,
that's what happens on your first episode. we always, who's starting? I am so sorry. I trampled all over you. I'm so used to doing hey, everybody, welcome back. But we can't welcome anybody back. It's the first episode.
it's our first episode. That's right.
It
And
is
we have
our
a
first
special
episode.
guest tonight.
Who was that special guest?
That would be Mr. Neo here.
Look how
And
he.
he is, he's all about the love. And so here's the
I was
funny
just
thing.
looking
So
at
our
something.
show is landing right at their dinner time. So I was smart and I fed them an hour beforehand
Oh,
so that
okay.
I could have some peace and quiet.
And
But
how's
it
that
doesn't
working out?
because wherever my laptop is, wherever my phone is, this is where he is because he's like, I'm ready for my close up, Mr. DeMille. And this is how it works.
I grew up thinking that was Mr. DeVille all the time.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I was a
Cruella
kid.
de
I was a
Vil.
kid. Dear Democracy, what is
Yes.
what's behind that, and what is this show going to mean to you and to the
Okay.
audience?
So, for those of you who are new to Keone and I, Cello, I am Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and this is my fabulous cohort, Keone. And we've been doing this wild ride called life in YouTube land for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years now. And, I got a Gemini moon, so I like to switch things up. I am a politic girl. I am in the know about what's going on, what's transpiring, but not from an educated background perspective, more so from a watching, listening, learning, feeling into things. And I have been very sad, very heartbroken is a good word
Oh,
about
because you
everything.
possess empathy, not
I possess
sympathy, but
empathy.
empathy.
I possess empathy and I'm also an empath.
Mhm.
So that can be really challenging. And for those of you who don't know what an empath is, I feel into other people's feelings as though they are my own. So an
Mhm.
empath can sometimes lose sight of where they end and another person begins. And
Yeah.
so it can be hard unless you're, really on the ball with it and know yourself very well. And even then some, you can feel things and think that it's yours and it's really not. It's actually someone else's. So that can be a challenge for me because I feel these things that I'm witnessing. Sorry, I have
Mhm.
cat hair all over my nose now, so I'm going to be touching my nose throughout the entire episode.
Are you
How?
going to be sneezing?
Well, no, not sneezing, itching. So it's going to look like I'm picking my nose throughout the whole thing. It drives me
No,
nuts.
no.
But anyway,
It's a good thing you know that.
that Dear Democracy came about because a year ago I was despondent and devastated and all the rest of it. And I reached out to Keone and I was like, I think I need to do something because I'm an activist and I'm usually a protester. And I've been told very clearly by my guides that I am not allowed to protest. I can do other things, but I am not allowed to protest. So, School of Hard Knocks, I've learned over the years to listen to my guides and listen to my intuition. So I reached out to Keone and I said to Key, I don't know if you remember the conversation, Keone, but I was like, I'm so upset and I need your help. I need to create a new channel and I'm going to do these readings and yada, yada, yada. And fast forward to, I don't know, a couple months
And I said,
ago.
screw your guides. That's what I said.
Well, you said screw your guides. And then you were like, okay, yeah, this is how we'll do it. So he helped me to put together this whole channel. I did 2 readings. And then I got busy. I got so freaking busy with everything else. And I was just emotionally really struggling to deal with life. And I
Uh,
realized I'm disappointing myself now because I can do all this other content, but all this other content is taking precedence and taking over this thing. So I don't know, it was last month or 3 weeks ago or something. I reached out to you and I said, you know what? I had a dream and I think I need to do a collab uh, political show. Do you want to do a collab political show? And you were like, hell yes, I've been waiting for you. I thought you didn't
wait,
want
I
to.
was that enthused.
In your text. You were that
Yeah, I
in your
was.
text. So perhaps a little bit of creative license, but that's just who I am.
I'm always up for trying something new. On my channel, we have a bunch of different shows from crime stuff to talk shows to motivational stuff to religious stuff. We have a political show. So this isn't the same type of deal as that. So I'm always up to looking to do something new. When you guys see our this is our launch episode. When you see our big opening episode, we got a lot to bring to the table. We'll give you a little peek into some of those things today, but it's some of it's going to be a little heavy, and sometimes uh, I may joke or something, but do not take my joke as thinking of something as not serious. It's just sometimes you gotta laugh. It stops
Yeah,
you
I
from
agree.
crying or being pain. If people crying, oh my god, you left this weakling. Okay, whatever. Um, I again also have empathy for people. You
Yeah.
know, one of the biggest things that have been said, especially from like that jerk Megan Kelly, was you know why I didn't get shot because I was home minding my business, doing stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, because the way things get changed in this country is by not protesting, right?
Right. Well, she doesn't want anything to change. She's got like $44 million in the bank, and she's riding high on all of her lies and, syndication. So, she's got no skin in the game, right?
How
I
much
mean,
is
look
your
at what
soul
she
worth?
said about the whole situation with Epstein
Yeah.
and, that whole debacle. And she's got a 14-year-old daughter. And she actually said, well, like he's like all it's almost legal.
Yeah, in one more year she's eligible, you know?
You
I
have a
think that goes to a bigger
year-old daughter. What is wrong with you?
and that goes to a bigger problem that could be talked about in this country. On Pretty Smart tomorrow, the ladies are talking about the age of consent in this country. It's different in every state. Some states it's 18, I mean 17, some states it's 16.
Hmm.
I think if you have teen in your name, the age of consent of course needs to be from another teen.
Yeah.
But then you get into those weird avenues of when does your birthday hit? How good does the father like you? Because we've seen the stories of that guy turning 18 and his girlfriend's 16, but they've been dating since he was 17 and she was 15.
Yeah.
And they leave that part out. And it's just, I don't know. It's a lot. But to
Yeah.
sit there and try to argue the legal age of consent, eh, but you don't want to argue for the legal rights of citizens is baffling to me.
Oh, oh my God. Like, first of all, just as a woman, I don't understand other women who fight against our sex, who fight against our rights as human beings, as equals on the planet. I'll never understand it
You're
aside
not
from
going to.
you came from abuse and you've been programmed and you've not been able to break out of that patterning. Okay, go get some fucking therapy.
Well, there's another side to that. One, you're never going to stop the self-hating person. I've met self-hating black people. You've met self-hating women, but some of them haven't been abused. Some of them have had such a great life that they feel they didn't need any type of feminism, any type of no one fighting for them, and they use that moniker of "I earned everything on my own through hard work and determination." And when they frowned upon me, I strapped up my boots and I kept it pushing. Judge
That's the
Judy, who
thing.
I used to admire
Person. There's
out of her,
always somebody that helps you.
yeah, Judge Judy out of her own mouth contradicted herself, and I love watching Judge Judy to death. She said, "Well, I don't believe in feminism. You work if you work hard, you get what you want. That's what I did." I said, "Judge Judy, you told a story about when you went to law school. The professor looked at you and said, 'You know, you're taking the seat of a man who would have been a good lawyer.'" Well,
Wow.
well, that fueled me. So if that happened, you can't say you didn't have any hurdles, and I don't know. Sometimes successful people just, and if they haven't had a rough patch or they've had that door open for them,
Yeah.
if you're a daughter of a Walton, you don't know about the hard trials of life.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
you don't
it
want
comes
to.
down to
Yeah,
the entitlement thing.
You don't want to hear some woman complaining about she doesn't have rights and she can't do this, she can't do that, because you can't see that through your $32 billion
Yeah.
that you were born into.
And yet there are people who have been born into abundance like that, and wealth, and they're still kind. They're still decent. They are philanthropic. They
Goes
see
back to
it as,
parenting. Yeah.
yes, like, I've been given this gift so that I can give to others. You know, I just, I wonder sometimes, where are those people? Why do we not see more of those people? Right?
I think
Like
because some people will change. Stuff does change. Like people will say, money doesn't change people, just shows the real them. No, sometimes it changes people. When I was a security guard way back in the day, I worked in one of the most expensive parts of Miami in this condo golf resort place. And one of the former CEOs of Pepsi lived there. And they used to want us to yell at him all the time. He'd walk his dog in his bathrobe. He'd never follow the rules, but he was literally the nicest guy there. Everybody was pretty much jerks in Deering Estates. A lot of people
Mhm.
ran into were jerks, entitled jerks who looked at us like we were peons. And he was so great to us. And I said, "Why are you so different?" He goes, "What do I have to be mean about? Everything in my life is taken care of. Why do I need to be mean?"
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it puts me in
Uh,
mind of years ago. I mean, I was 16,
uh-huh.
and I worked there from 16 to 18. I worked at a very prestigious golf and country
So
club.
15 years ago. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, 15 years ago, because I'm forever 30. You got it. And good call. And the it was always fascinating to me. I started off being a club cleaner, and they all had that. So many people had a difficult time with the fact that I was a girl club cleaner. So there were some, and these were all very wealthy men, businessmen, and all the rest of it. And some of them were out and out rude, that they would not want me to clean their clubs, and they would pay the guys that I worked with
Mhm.
big tips, big sums of money to clean the clubs and to completely ignore me. Then there were others that let me clean their clubs and wouldn't tip me, but would tip the guys if the guys were cleaning their clubs. And then you had the ones that were like equal opportunity, glad you're doing what you're doing. Here's your money. Have a great day. Oh, and by the way, here's a couple of tickets to go to such and such. Or do you like this thing? Here's a whatever. So you get a little bit of everything in there. But you're right. I have discovered that when you're working with really well off people, generally speaking, most of them are dicks. and, and you get the occasional one or two, maybe five, that are kind and generous.
Yeah.
So I will never understand it. I mean, just treat every person
Well,
the way
it's because there's
you treat
two types of rich. There's a person that's rich because they have the money, but they're also rich here. I know it's
them. Yeah,
cliche. And there are people who are just money rich. Like
yeah,
you can tell a person who earned that money and a person who was given that money. You can always kind of tell the difference sometimes, not always, but sometimes tell the difference.
yeah,
But it also depends on also the part that we miss out is how was your riches obtained?
yeah.
There's a
Did
difference.
you work for
Are
it?
you a doctor? Do you own your own practice? It's different than if you've done a couple scams and embezzled a couple people. You know,
Right.
how many
Sure.
people did you crush on the way to the top also can determine your character. You
Very
know,
true.
there are people who turn down jobs just because they didn't want to screw someone else over and it cost them money.
Yeah.
But, hopefully they got their just desserts. But you're gonna get those types of people, and it just boggles my mind.
Yeah.
And now we're in a climate where speak loud and carry a big stick, right?
Yeah.
The person who shouts ignorance the loudest is the person who's heard and the person who's correct, because we're at the age of opinions outweigh facts,
Yeah.
and nobody wants to research anything at all. We're just going to listen to what everybody tells us and we're going to go with that.
Yeah.
We have to
We've
pick a
lost
side to
empathy,
blame.
we think.
Yeah. We have to pick a side. And the one thing that, and you tell me how you feel about this. The one thing that annoys me the most is you used to be able to be fluid in your political beliefs, right? Not saying are you Democrat or Republican, but when you get into the are you left, are you progressive, are you conservative, are you mild progressive, are you far left, far right, all of that, right? There used to be degrees, and now it's just you're right, you're left if you have a thought. I'm allowed, maybe I'm a little more conservative when it comes to gun control, and maybe I'm a little more progressive when it comes to women's right when it comes to birth. Am I not allowed to be that way?
No, we are all allowed to. We're not all cookie cutter the same. You know, I always say we are as unique as the proverbial snowflake, and everyone has the right to their opinion. But to your point, make sure that you understand your why. Know your why. Why
Yeah.
do you feel that way? Why are you coming to that conclusion? Have you done the research, or are you just choosing that because it's something you feel? Okay, then don't inflict it on anybody else. You know, feel what you feel, vote how you want to vote, have discussion about it, but don't kill somebody for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the ridiculousness about it. It doesn't need to breed hate.
Oh, you just said kill. I think we're at the ninth. I got it. I don't quote me, but it's either seven, eight, or ninth shooting during
9.
ICE
There have
activities.
been 9 people killed in 2026.
And you know what's been amazing? Not about people being shot is it's not deterring people from speaking out and
Yeah.
uh, protesting. They shot someone, and the Minnesota people came out in larger numbers. Shot someone again, and Minnesota people did not leave. They came out in even larger numbers.
Yeah.
And did you see what the National Guard, Minnesota National Guard did?
Yes, the coffee and donuts, the pizza, that's the way it should be. We're here to protect the citizens so that they can do what their constitutional right is to protest peacefully.
You know, there's no military person, and you're speaking to a guy that spent 20 years in the army. There's no military person that thought in their lifetime they would be defending their citizens on their home soil.
From
We thought,
other citizens.
yeah, we thought we'd be doing that in other countries because you know when we go 3,000 miles away, we're protecting the interest of our citizens. You know, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever. But
But here now it's protecting our citizens from our government.
yeah, because I said this on the. I don't know if you got to watch the conversation at all earlier. I said this. At least with police, whether they do right or wrong, I kind of know that we know the procedures. Probable cause, right? If you pull me over when I'm driving, busted tail light, covered license plate, windows too tinted too darkly, maybe I'm speeding, maybe I didn't use a turn signal, maybe I drove over the double lines, right? But you're not supposed to pull me over because you saw a black guy. We know that part, right?
Yeah.
I don't know the procedures. I'm watching videos where people are walking, they just stop and start asking them questions. Why are you stopping
There are no
citizens just asking them
procedures
questions?
because
That's the
their
problem.
mandate is let's detain and deport everyone we possibly can because we want to create as much fear and chaos as possible. There are so many different layers to what game is being played right now. It's not just a single objective. It is a very multi-layered objective. So when you look at one situation, you can't look at it, you know, sort of monochromatically. You have to look at it from all different angles because there are multiple angles at play. And that's why it's so
Mhm.
confusing, right?
It can politically backfire too. We just saw that in Georgia when she called ICE and immigration on that Hyundai plant, and they went and arrested and marched out like 100 or so people and deported a
Well,
shit ton of
detain
people.
them under horrible conditions first.
Well, those people were here legitimate and paper, and those people were they found out those people were the people that were here to train the citizens of America how to work in the plant. So Hyundai shut that plant, and all those jobs are gone.
Yep.
And the people in that part of Georgia got pissed, and there was political backfire. But because racism is expensive, and
Mhm.
it's becoming expensive and more expensive.
It hurts my heart so much to be in this country knowing that it's not about human decency. that it all comes down to the dollar. That hurts my heart.
You know what hurts
I
your heart even more, Stacy? Think about this. It's 2026. We know the history of the country. Why are we still doing these things?
That's what I mean. It makes no sense to me. My brain, I'm like one of those cartoon characters where I just or oh my god, what's that show called? Upload or Up or Upload? Oh, it's on Amazon. It's a great show. But anyway, it's
Up
like
the movie Up with the
no, no,
house on the
no. It's a
balloon.
it's a, it's a series. It's a series on Amazon. I think it's called Upload or whatever. But the
Okay.
point is, I'm the like, and I'm frozen, and the wheel is spinning, and spinning and spinning because it just explodes my mind. At like for me, this should have all been stopped. For me, first of all, the individual who's in power right now should not have even been able to run in the first place from the first time. So that blows my mind. But okay, I get it. Americans kind of, can go against their own best interest. We've seen it
Well,
before.
one reason why it shouldn't blow your mind is because we know the history of this country and people act like racism is dead. If Barack Obama was running for a second term, looking like he looked and was charged with all of those felonies, he wouldn't be able to sniff a ballot box.
No, that's the hypocrisy is just so like that's the thing that just blows my mind is the hypocrisy of it. But then it's the like I had predicted this a while back. I saw women and children in concentration camps. I saw SA. I guess we're not allowed to say certain things on
Yeah,
camera
it's
or
a
whatever.
essay and grape.
Yep, SA and Grape. I saw SA and Grape of the women and the children in these concentration camps. Obviously, we know the Epstein files is a thing as well. And then, like, to me, it starts happening, and we're seeing it in this whole, like, alligator Alcatraz. Like,
Yeah.
I was literally in shock because I'm like, okay, people are going to put a stop to this. People are going to stop.
You know why
No,
you were in shock? You know why you were in shock? Why do you think I wasn't in shock
because
and you
I have
were
a
in shock?
heart. I don't know.
No, no, well, damn, Stacy. I have a heart.
You were in
No,
shock.
but why wasn't I shocked and why were you shocked? Number one,
Well,
where were you?
because you are a black man,
Well, it's
you
bigger.
truly understand racism in a way that I never will because I'm just a white woman.
Well, it's bigger than that. I mean, not bigger than that. I wouldn't even. I will take out the black man and white woman. Where were you born and raised?
Canada,
Where was I born and raised? Miami.
the US,
You
right?
got to see a whole different thing being up there than what I got to see. That's why none of this shit surprises me at
Yeah,
all.
that
You
breaks my
know,
heart.
it none. You know, they said that when Barack Obama was elected president, finally it's shown that anyone can be president.
Yeah,
That's a lie. This guy shows that anyone. How low is the bar now?
I don't think there is one at this point. I
Nope.
truly did not see that 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 the US would devolve to this degree of depravity. I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all, but I am honestly not convinced that the election was free and fair. But I've had other people
I
tell me it hasn't been free and fair for
Well,
decades.
I believe it was free and fair. You look at we're not acting like he won by 10 million votes, right? And secondly, the amount of people who didn't vote is just astronomical, which is crazy in itself. So who knows what happens if we
Yeah, that does surprise
yeah,
me. But I'm gonna
actually
tell you something like from a
what
psychic perspective.
mhm.
I saw Kamala winning every time I would tune in. I saw Kamala winning. I saw it. And when you saw all of the rallies,
Mhm.
all of her speeches, there was so much joy and excitement and so many people showing up. And you would
Yeah.
watch this stuff and it paled in comparison
It paled, but
to
people
a
still
quarter.
went.
I know. That's why I mean, maybe it's the Pollyanna in me.
Yeah.
And
Well, you could have had
I
two
don't know.
things. You could have two things. You got your psychic intuition, but you could have emotions also play into it in the vision and what you hope.
Sure.
Like you, because the brain is powerful. We know that, right? And
And
that
we
could be things
use
helping to
everything through
push.
our own filters.
Yeah, and that's why when you're doing readings and stuff, I see you meditate and clear your head because you don't want your intuition swayed by your feelings or
Yeah.
emotions. So that's what I usually see you do. So that could be a part of that um as well, you know?
And that's why, actually, like, speaking of this show, that's why I wanted to come and do this show with you as well, is I recognized I needed a collaborator for the show because I do work well with these kinds of things when someone else is asking the questions and I'm just free and clear versus me having to come up with questions to ask and then to do like a pre-record or whatever. It's not that I can't do it, but
And
in
out of your
this situation where there is emotion
Mhm.
tied for me,
Yeah.
I'm speaking as the psychic, but there's also the Stacy the woman, in this as well with my own opinions and my
Also, the
own.
difference in the format is like what just happened here. We're also it's a different format. You're used to the format of where you talk and I just shut up and I find the double dutch. I find when to jump in or when you stop. But in these type of shows, sometimes you end up cutting each other off and talking because it's just a that's just the way these type of things go. Not in a rude way. You
Yeah,
just say,
just
"Well, wait a
organic.
minute." Yeah, you're like, "Well, wait a minute here." You sometimes you got to pump the brakes on me, and sometimes I have to pump the brakes and say, "Wait, well, hold on, I don't subscribe to that." But ah, it's gonna be. There's one thing that we will be not lacking in this
And what's
term:
that?
content
Oh yeah, no shit.
and
No shit.
and things to talk about. You
Well,
know.
that was like you and I were talking about the scale of what this was going to be. And I was like, okay, so we could literally go on every day. I don't have the time to go on every day, and
I don't
neither
have
do
the
you.
mental capacity. We also don't have the mental capacity to
Easy.
talk about this guy every day of the week.
Right.
The people who do make a lot of money.
Right. Right. Well, we're doing it twice a week. We'll see how that, or twice a month. Sorry. We'll
Oh,
see how that
my!
goes.
Did you see my heart rate went up?
Twice a week. Oh my God, Stacy, we didn't sign on for that. No, no. I just, this is, you're right about the content. I mean, every day there's something, every day there's five new things, five new things. So, yeah,
That's what you're catching between clients. You're catching a blip of five new things. If you're one of those people that sat and watched the morning news, the afternoon news, the evening news,
oh my God, I
nighttime
wouldn't
news,
get out of
you
bed. I wouldn't get out of bed. As it was 2025, I had a hard time getting out of bed just for the regular stuff. Just insane. Okay, you are ridiculous, sir. Yeah. Aw. He's just so loving and cute. He's a pain in the ass, but he's just a loving, adorable. Mwah.
he's the one you see the most. The dogs are off doing their thing. The other cat is like whatever.
Yes.
And he's like, you
Is
cannot have
Josie.
any time to yourself.
No, and then when I want love and affection and attention from my fur babies, nowhere to be found. I've got three of them, and they're nowhere to be found. And I'm like, okay, so now I have the time to devote to you. Now is a convenient time for me to have love. And none of you want to be a participant in that. Thanks. I guess that's what it
No.
means to be mother.
Oh, the children. They will
Yeah.
always get you. The children, and we have a child in the White House in this
Yeah, no
administration.
shit.
I'm looking forward to we're looking forward to taking questions from the audience when you guys come rolling in. Um, and you can still send me questions via email or DM on all social media platforms, Keone Productions. And it's gonna be good. I almost said fun, but I'm like, it's not gonna be fun. I mean, it's fun to work with you, but sometimes we're gonna have to talk about things that's gonna damn right piss us off.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna
Yeah.
talk about things that make us happy. It's usually probably things that are, you know. And here's the thing. I've never wanted to be clear in opposition of someone, whether it was Bush, whether it was Clinton, whether it was Obama, whoever it was. I would point out things I liked. I would point out things I don't like. I
Sure.
never want to force myself to just look at everything negatively. And I don't see one positive thing that's been happening. And when people point out something that's a positive and I look at it as like, that's not really a positive. Keep threatening Canada and we're gonna realize that's not a positive. Keep threatening Japan and you're gonna realize that's not a positive. Keep threatening allies and pissing them off.
You're not
That's
going to
gonna be
have
a
very
positive. You
yeah.
Dave pointed this out. The board of peace that he is stringing together, which is not even his idea. The UN commissioned a board of peace, and he kind of just slapped his name on and took it over.
Which is
But
what he
all the
does.
nations he sent invitations to that's accepted all have low ratings for treatment of people, whether
Mhm.
by different religion, sex, gender, or creed.
Yep. Yep. Birds of a feather.
I'm gonna read these off to you. Hold on. I'm gonna read these off to you. Okay. And you tell me if you notice the common theme. All right.
Okay.
Countries and the following states were invited to the Board of Peace by President Trump but did not respond prior to the inaugural meeting. Australia, Austria, Brasilia, China, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Finland, Greece, India, Japan, Netherlands, New Zealand, Oman, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Russia, which is telling, Singapore, South Korea, Switzerland, Thailand, Ukraine, and the Vatican City. You
Hmm.
hear those countries? Right? Okay. Countries that declined: Croatia, France, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Norway, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, United Kingdom.
Hmm.
Countries whose invitation was rescinded: Canada. I don't know what his fucking problem is with Canada, but you know what I'd kind of not do? I'd kind of not stop. Why are you pissing off the two countries where the only way people could invade us is by coming through those two land masses, even though it'd be incredibly hard? The following states have expressed an intent to accept: Albania, Belarus, Cambodia, Egypt, of course, Israel, of course, Kuwait, and Vietnam. And then this is the most telling: countries that have said yes:
Hmm.
Argentina, no surprise.
Yeah.
Armenia,
Wasn't it Argentina that we gave like $1 billion or something to?
yeah, Argentina is also all the place where all the Nazis went.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
Azerbaijan, Bahrain, Bulgaria, El Salvador, Hungary, Indonesia, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Kosovo, Mongolia, Morocco, Pakistan, Paraguay, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, United Arab Emirates, United States, and Uzbekistan. I never thought I'd hear the United States on a list with 95% of the names I just rolled off.
yeah. It's a completely it's like what our existence has been in reverse. It's literally just in reverse. I think about all the movies that have been made to try and show people what it's like when the shoe was on the other foot. And we're now living it.
Yeah, because we look at other countries still to this day, and what happens if we see face covered police doing things in the streets and doing what they're doing here? We go, oh, these uncivilized people. Oh, I'm so glad I live in America.
Yeah. Well, now what's happening to you too? And there's a 50-50 chance that you fucking voted for it. And I
Yeah,
got to go through this shit with you because
and
you
I'm not
voted for
walking around with a passport. You can kiss my ass.
it. Yeah.
So didn't want to end it on that.
You're going to ask me a couple of predictive questions, aren't
Yes,
you?
I said, yeah. That's what I said. We're not going to end it on that. All right.
No.
So the questions that I have for you are: why are you so awesome? No, I'm just kidding. Um, how will the political climate shift this year? Will we continue to shift in the wrong direction, or will the ship be righted and we go to the right direction? I understand that's direction, right or wrong, is different based on who you're talking to, but you should know by now who you're listening to.
A big event happening in March and another big event happening in August. And I feel that these are going to be turning points. More
Yeah.
tragedy, unfortunately, but turning points. I feel like there are going to be waves of, that I'm seeing the ocean, the tide, the ebb and the flow. There's going to be this uncomfortable dance between the regime and the people, the regime and the people. And sometimes the people are going to be in the flow, and sometimes the regime's going to be in the flow. So I'm feeling a lot of that ebb and flow. It makes me seasick, to be honest. Um, I feel like if we talk about the end of the year, there's going to be a lot of sadness, a lot of heaviness, but it also feels like the when you see the troops on the battlefield after the war has been won, but now you're having to like pick up the pieces, right? It's like reality sets in. The life that I have been, engaged in, the fighting that I've been engaged in, the trauma and the long standing, having to be present with all of this bad shit. Um, Everything now, like I don't have to do that anymore. But I look around at the battlefield and I see the big mess, and it's kind of like we're shifting out of one form of work and we're having to shift right away into a new form of work without a whole lot of break in between. But I do feel, and it can go any way. I mean, we are still very much on the balance of things, on the precipice of things. But I'm seeing that something occurs in June as a result of what happens in March that gives the populace a leg up. It's like a figure is removed from the equation and the house of cards falls down. That could be that we could be talking about, dear leader, for whatever reason, being no longer valid or viable. I mean, it's no shocker there. He's completely brain addled at this point, worms for brains, right? So you don't kind of need to be a psychic to know that. But I do feel that there is what do we call that? A supporting peg that gets removed. And then the house of cards falls. It's Jenga tower. And then there is a cascading effect as the tower falls, as the tower crumbles. There are people who are continuing to try and climb up the falling tower to remain at the top. And I feel that there's going to be a lot of like stain, like blood on our hands as Americans. We already have it right now, given, the bombings of the boats in Venezuela and things of that nature. There's going to be more of that. And as well as, the blood of the people that we're losing here on American soil. We have blood on our hands. We've had blood on our hands for a long freaking time, but I thought we were kind of moving beyond that. Clearly not. We need to go through this one more time. But I feel that there is this almost like towards the end of the year, a nation mourning the atrocities, mourning the atrocities that happened to them, but more so mourning the atrocities of the people whose blood we have on our hands. I feel a reckoning that is going to be occurring kind of October, mid-October into November. I feel that it's a reckoning with the world. So there's going to be some kind of global leadership, global conference, maybe even some global leaders coming into the country to assist in some capacity. We know that trust has been broken, it's been eroded. It's going to take a long time for us to, work our way not back to where we were, but to work our way into the new kind of way of being in the world. Don't necessarily see that as being a bad thing, just unfortunate that we have to wait so long to kind of get there. And I know there are a lot of conspiracy theories out there about how this government is going to look. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't feel that the existing government in the way that it is at present is going to be that way by the end of the year. And I'm not a poli-sci person, so I don't know why that would be, and I don't know how we would get there, but we're living in unprecedented times. We're already in a place where there's shit that, we're here at a place where nobody thought we'd be. I feel like I'm seeing 5 people that America knows. So these are 5 people from different walks of life, all representing, I want to say, kind of a different aspect of the people. And somehow I see these 5 individuals, maybe they've got a team. So each person has a team. But I see there being, the word I keep hearing is coalition. I don't know if this would be like a coalition government, or if this would be kind of an interim council of sorts. But I'm seeing 5 individuals that the American people know and trust, or know and respect, from all walks of life, coming together. And I feel like it is there where everything begins. So seeds are planted. That's also where I see I mentioned about global leaders coming together. And in the country, I see them connected to this sort of group of 5. I see some partnerships being made in like smaller capacities around, it's like, it's not that we're going to have states that secede, but we're going to have states that group together, and through that grouping together, they've made different plans and different deals to be able to take care of their own. And as a result of that, when this group of 5 comes through to try and kind of reunite, bring some semblance of reuniting to the country, bringing some semblance of order back into the country, I feel like these groupings of states are also going to be connecting in this capacity, almost like, okay, well, we've got our own industry in this capacity, and these other states need this industry. And then globally, they're going to say, okay, well, we'll work with this group of states, and we'll give you a little bit of a deal. We'll trade with you a little bit here and a little bit there. But there are going to be some major restrictions, major terms on sort of what and how. And I feel like there's going to be kind of, in essence, like a clause in there that says, if you have any political unrest moving forward, the deal is off. So again, I don't know exactly what this looks like because I've never seen anything like this, but I do see kind of this rainbow. So I feel that there is more diversity, but it also forces different groups of states to work kind of globally, but as a new version, baby version of the United States. So not secession, but mm, recognizing different areas and aspects of the country itself that can assist in a more global fashion. I don't know if that makes any sense at all or not, but I'm picking up on that. You're laughing. Oh, and you're on mute.
I was not laughing. That's the last thing I was doing, was laughing. That was a lot to unpack. I'm trying to think of 5 people. I'm gonna make a list. That's my homework today. I'm gonna make a list of these 5 people I'm thinking is gonna happen. In the beginning, you said March and August.
Yeah,
Do you know what's
big
happening in March
events.
and August?
Big events. So March feels to me like,
Oh no, I was gonna tell you.
oh, go for it.
Pri-
Okay.
Primaries are there's primaries in March and April, in August. March and August. March has the primary election day for several states, including North Carolina, Arkansas, um, Texas. Senate primaries are in March. August has key states such as Alaska and Arizona, where you are,
Mm.
Tennessee and Florida. So some big states in August.
Mm.
And you scared me when you said turning point. Do you know why?
What?
Do you know why?
No.
Turning point. Do you know what turning point is?
Oh, the
The organization run by Charlie Kirk's wife.
bullshit.
Yeah. So when you said big event, there's going to be a turning point. I was like, oh, where's she going? Where's she going with
Mm.
this?
It could be directly connected to all of their nonsense and shenaniganery,
I
but I
hope
will
so.
tell you, it feels almost like, I don't feel that we're going to be in a world war, but it almost has that feeling of like something gets released. Something gets released, or
Oh,
like
I
a
hope it's
bomb
the
is dropped.
I hope the Epstein files get released or they release
Well,
these prices in this grocery
I
store.
know, my God. You know what? I don't see that happening until dear leader is no more. And I don't know when that's going to
I
be.
gotta ask you this for having several pets. Is pet food more expensive now? Is it getting out of control?
Oh, hell yeah. And supply is hard. Like several times now, just over the last few months, when I go to get their stuff that I've been ordering forever in a day, and it's popular stuff. It's not like a, like a random one-off brand. I have to get substitutes because they never have what I need in order. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff.
Who needs
It's a
imports?
good shit. What's
Who
that?
needs it? Who needs imports?
Yeah, well, exactly.
When you've got
Means
323 million people living in a country, you don't need. We should be self sufficient. Everything can be made and grown here. Yeah.
yeah, maybe in another 50 years if we have
No, well,
infrastructure.
it's not even that. The people who say stupid stuff like that don't even understand that certain things don't grow in certain areas because it needs certain conditions.
Well, yes, of course. That we have a nation with quite a few people that are very undereducated and
Nah,
quite frankly
like, how do
ignorant.
you not? There's a reason why avocados taste different certain parts of the
Yes,
world. There's a reason why. The funniest thing I used to laugh at being in Miami. You'd go to the store and we would have California oranges, and then you go to California and they've got Florida oranges.
right.
They were just- and
No, it's so
I
bizarre.
was like,
You
why
know
are
what's
we?
really funny
Yeah,
is I'm
but then you
here
realize the oranges are
in
different.
North Carolina and then in Arizona. So in Canada, I have this recipe from my grandmother. It's called Keja soup. It's basically a cherry soup.
Uh,
It's a, kind of a unique thing to our family. I think my grandmother learned it when she was, in the Russian Revolution and, figured out how to, put stuff together with very little
yeah.
ingredients, but it's delicious and it's kind of a family thing and I've tweaked it and, perfected it and whatever. In North Carolina, it calls for sour cherries. In North Carolina, I could hardly get sour cherries. I could never get them fresh, and
Uh,
only at a certain season could I get them frozen. Here in Arizona, can't find them to save my life. So I can't make cherry soup.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, there's climates, conditions, so it's so many. I'm not. We don't have to do an agricultural show. It's
Right,
just
right.
it's another thing where people talk out of their ass and don't have no idea
Yes.
what they're
Diversity
talking
is beautiful and we can't live without one another. We just can't. We just can't.
about. Okay, I have a serious question.
Yeah.
What
Uh-oh.
does it mean when I start seeing blurry lines?
What do you mean blurry lines?
Like it looks like fumes are going by my eye, but there's no fumes in here. And when I shut my eyes, I can still see them. Am I having a stroke?
No, it's not a stroke, but you might be having a visceral tear in your eyes. I had that one time. I'm not saying the right word. It's not a retinal tear. It's a viscera tear. So, like, the floaties that you get in your eyes, it might be something
I've
like
never
that.
actually had a floaty, so I don't know what it feels like.
So I would go get my eyes checked, dude.
No, it
I'd
actually
go
it
and
just
make
does.
an
It just
appointment.
happens. It just happens. I have a little, not to alarm you. I have a little kind of like I'm gonna pass out. I,
That's not good.
huh?
I said
I,
that's
I
not good.
probably just need to
That's
drink.
taking
It's
breath away.
the AC and heater in this office is out, so I'm using a space heater, and it's so
Hmm.
cold, so it's blasting on me, and that's probably
Okay.
what it is.
Well, I mean, I was channeling there too. So sometimes when I channel, it emits a particular energy too. So if you kind of
Oh,
felt a little loosey goosey, airy fairy, a little out of your like grounded out of the
yeah,
body, that
yeah.
could have been it too. Yeah, that you're
Okay, don't be doing that to me,
a
Stacy.
different dimensional kind of frequency.
Okay, don't be doing that to me, Stacy. Black people don't do well with ghosts. Okay, it's
It's not
interdimensional
ghost,
stuff.
it's energy, dude. It's energy.
Interdimensional stuff. Energy is a fancy word for ghost.
Well, maybe in your world, not in
No,
mine.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm just playing. Well, um, God, there's and I say there's so much to talk about for us to talk about going into this show, and I say it not with excitement because it's fun topics. I just say it because it's like somebody's got to talk. I mean, people are talking about it, but Um, I don't see anybody doing what you're about to partake and do. So I'm hoping to everybody out there that we do it right. And bear with us. It's going to get better and better as we catch our footing and what we exactly want it to be. We're not doing a thing. We didn't pick to do a thing where I just come out here and go, Stacy, question, pull a card. Stacy, question, pull. She's not a circus monkey. She's not here
Right.
to do tricks. Okay. Um, and to make the show better whenever you guys are watching, because I saw some of you hop in, hop out. If you go back and watch it again, let us know your thoughts, whether it's in comments, whether it's in live chat. It's going to help us form what we want to do, whether it's constructive criticism or just criticism.
Well,
And
I
we'll
could
get
do
both.
with the criticism, but I'm a softie that way. So you get to deal with all the criticism and then you
Yeah,
can pass.
criticism creates more content depending on
That's true. That's very true.
I'm all one for taking a screenshot and putting it on here and let's talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why I have you as my cohort.
Yeah, all your friends. I'm who you pick. What does that say about you?
I think it says that I'm a smart girl.
Oh, you give me too much credit. But no, it's fun. It's dang. It's like you. I started on the political show early this morning because, like, as you're talking about the stuff, you're also picturing stuff, and if you have some type of semblance of morality or humanity, your brain almost shuts down while you're trying to form sentences because you're like, "What am I?
Yes.
Why am I talking about this? Like, why is this still a thing?"
Yeah.
It's
This
almost
is
like when you hear, "Hey, first woman, the first man, first Hispanic, first." It's 2026. Why are we still having first?
yeah. I know. It's just like let's just all be people. Like why do we have to like I believe that diversity is beautiful, but labels only take you so far, and then it serves to put barriers between you and another person. We're at the core of us, to sound a bit pedantic, at the core of us, if you prick
Well,
us,
you,
do we
yeah.
not bleed?
Well, you know
Like,
why? When you have people who are not doing the best, what you do to keep them from doing something worse is you do what?
placate.
You give them somebody to hate. And I'm gonna show you a video. I gotta pull it back up again. It's the one difference when you have a live. Sometimes something comes to mind, and I'm like, I have a video that I want to put in here for you to see, and it kind of sums up what you and I have been talking about today. Why? Why is there a racial divide? Because the world wasn't always like this.
No,
The
it
world
absolutely wasn't.
was at war for resources, was at war for land. Um,
I think it's just power, control, and dominance, quite
but then
frankly.
we had to start dividing everything up by not only religion, but by the shades of your skin,
Hmm.
which that's when it becomes a little ridiculous for me, right?
Because it's fear. It's little men and little
Oh,
women who don't have the self-esteem or the confidence to
or the capacity to
stand
have that.
in their own power and their own agency, and they have to make other people around them small in order to make themselves feel better. I mean, it's the age old adage, and it's just sickening to me that humanity has not outgrown this. I mean, there are humans who have, but
Yeah.
apparently not enough.
Well, you do what you do. If enough people talk about it, you get people on your side, you know? And that's what every tactic that everybody uses, even the side that you don't want people to be on, they'll do the same thing. They're going to use what they can to have that happen. And it's not something that you're willing to work with or do, right?
Yeah.
Because again, like what do we say in the beginning? You have empathy, you have a moral compass. And I know moral compass, we talked about this earlier, is subjective. Everybody claims they have the most moral compass, but everybody, you move the needle a little bit, and some people claim that that's not really moralistic,
Right.
So
That's not to my morals, you know. Yeah. It's not to my morals.
that part that you just said. So I don't know if you were ever familiar with the works of Jane Elliott. I'm not going to show her, but are you familiar with Jane Elliott?
I The name does not ring a bell.
Oh, you've got to familiarize yourself with a little Jane Elliott. Her Blue Eyes experiment got her in a lot of trouble back in the day. This is something
Okay.
that happened back in the day. What she did was she gave, and I'm doing a summarized version of it. She split the class up and gave students privileges, and the other side that she didn't split up, she didn't give them any privileges. She didn't
Gotcha.
reward them extrally when they did something right, but the other group she did. What she ended up doing was at some point flipping it. And some of the people who were now not getting privileges were PO'd,
Of
thought it was
course, because they
extremely
were used
unfair.
to having privileges. Mhm.
And half of the ones that were now getting the privileges would share the privileges, but
Mm.
the other half were stingy because they didn't have any privileges.
And
But
screw
more
you,
of the
you got
people,
all of this when I didn't, so now
yeah,
it's my turn. Mhm.
but more of the kids were helping
Yeah.
rather than not. And so, the parents complained or whatever. She went in and did this speech in auditorium, and she asked, she's white, she asked all the white people, stand up if you would like to trade your life for a black person's life.
Hmm. And nobody
And then
stood up.
she goes, wait a minute, I don't think you understood the question. Stand up if you would trade your life for a black person's life. She said, no one's standing. So that
Mhm.
means there's something wrong. You see there's something wrong, and yet you're doing nothing about it. Now,
Yeah.
the place where she was doing this wasn't, in the suburbs or some well off place, but it circles back to the thing that I tell you. If that group of people isn't doing so well themselves, and they're led to believe the reason why they're not doing so well is because of people who don't look like them,
Yep.
then why the hell would they want to work to make life better for those people?
Yeah. So
Does that
sad.
make any sense?
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
Yeah. Why would you put forth the effort? So it's like, like somebody says, hey, listen, some of you I blame, some of you I don't blame. I know why you are what you are. But once you get the resources to change that, then it's up to you. You can't help your upbringing. Um, and there's no timetable on when you can rewire somebody from their upbringing. There's no timetable on that.
No, and it's you have to choose it for yourself. Each individual has to decide that they want to grow and evolve. Again, I come back to what is your why?
Yep.
Know
What is
your
your why?
why.
Is such a good question. We ask that in every industry, like every industry, even in the industry I am. We ask, "What is your why?"
Yeah. You need to know it. If you don't know it, you're an automaton. You are you are making decisions from a subconscious perspective or from a programmed perspective, and that's not living, and that's not critical thinking, and it's not the way to hone your zone of genius, for God's sake.
And how do you get out of that? See, but there's a difference. Like Martin Luther King's, what he used to say: the two most dangerous things are sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity.
Yeah.
Conscientious stupidity. There are people who know that their line of thinking is wrong, and yet they're actively not trying to do anything to fix it. Okay.
Yeah.
I tried to do it this way. I'm just gonna try. Hopefully the sound plays. It's taken too long to download the video. Um, you know what? I'll save it for later because I'm gonna chop it up. But it's a video. You have something to look forward to now.
Okay,
You're
good.
gonna want to hear. I was gonna send it to you, but I'm like, no, I want your reaction to it.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well,
definitely gonna
we'll
do a
do it
reaction
for
to
the
it.
show. But you
All
just
right.
reminded me because you were talking about the video.
Uh-huh.
I shared that video today with you. The the channel, the former Black Panther
Uh-huh.
speaks.
Uh-huh.
Did you get a chance to watch that video?
Uh-uh.
Okay. So I just want to put it out there for anyone who is watching us. This is something that came into my feed just in the last few days. This guy is so impressive to me. He is a former Black Panther. I'm guessing he's in his 70s, early 70s. He looks amazing for his age. He has 4 degrees. He is a doctor, a surgeon, an engineer, a lawyer. He's got a law degree, and he's got some other whatever it is. He's also a vet and some other thing under his belt. And he's been creating these videos just a little bit at a time because his whole thing is violence is not the answer. And even working to connect with your government to tell your government, I'm not happy with this and I'm not happy with that is not going to work if we really want to make consistent change. And so his whole thing is talking about, imagine what it would be like if you were sitting in a boardroom, with all your board members. You're a corporation, and all of a sudden your boardroom is filled with 1.5 million emails from your clients, your customers, the people that pay your bills, who are asking you in a polite way, in a calm way, this is what's going on. Why are you supporting it? What are you going to do to change and fix it? How are you going to earn my money and earn my business? And it's one thing if you get one email, they can dismiss that. 20 emails, they can dismiss that. 2,000 emails, okay, maybe they'll, whatever, pay attention. Well, now you're talking about 50,000, 100,000, yada, 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 right? So he was showing, like, in all the different aspects of our lives, how we can affect change without being violent, without putting ourselves at physical risk. Not saying that we shouldn't protest. He wasn't like anti-protest or anything like that. He was just giving like a secondary path. Do this, and this is how you're going to affect change. And today's video, he talked about agency. He gave the description of the definition of agency. He said what it was. He said what it wasn't. And he really just gave this hopeful, conversational information about agency. So I really want to, maybe that's something else we can look at in the next episode too. But you take a look at it, and anyone who's watching, check out his handle is former Black Panther Speaks, and he's all about how can we save America. And it's fascinating to me. And he's calm, he's well spoken, and he's just got a lot of cool ideas.
All right.
What?
Awesome. No, I didn't say anything.
Yeah, your face is like, I'm not buying it. Or
they can't see me, Stacy.
Oh, they can't see you.
No. I'm giving it away. All right. Bye. Have a beautiful time.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you for our next Dear Democracy. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, click the bell, all that fun stuff. Also, check out my join button if you want to find out how to become a fabulous Phoenix and keep the conversation going. Click that join button. Check out my 3 different membership options. And thanks, Keone. Thanks, Mr. Neo, for your love and support. And we'll see you guys on the flip side. Transform well.